Time for Action is the subtitle of this talk. As you saw, the action actually had action to it. Landon, we're learning a little bit about Landon right now. It's my name. It'll be important later. It really is, trust me, I'm not just doing some self-promotion here. It will be important later. And does everybody call me Landon? I'm doing a rhetorical question here. I expect you all not to know the answer maybe, but some of them. The answer is no, this guy calls me Daddy. Those are a couple of the gophers I got at GopherCon last year. We play hide the gopher with him. It's sort of like Easter eggs and stuff. He's really smart. He put it behind the bookcase one time. It took me over half an hour to find it. Anyway, this is a sequel. So what is going to be in this talk? Yeah, I'm going to cover AI and Go a little bit about the first talk. I'm going to talk about changes and things about AI and Go and so forth since the talk, and then some actions. This is, that's the co-title of the talk there. So anyway, AI and Go, Time to Tinker. That was the name of the talk that I gave back in 2014. There was no action on the Time to Tinker. It was just there. I mean, this is a sequel. I've invested in higher techniques and stuff. So anyway, we're going to go through some Slack comments real quick. There's a lot of slides of this, but we'll go through it real quick. I figure instead of hearing me talk about what my talk was about, to hear actually other people talk about it might make more sense to you. I'm sure the last slide, and then I'm going to do the updated slide next to last slide. So I'm going to take that slide that was next to last, and I'm going to update it just slightly. I'll show it to you, and then we're going to be on and running. So LOL, that reminds me of the guy who got locked out of his Airbnb last year. I've abbreviated these, and this is just Mr. B. Showed up in his jammies. His name started with an L. Landon. E. Yes, the infamous Landon. I was working the front desk that morning. He came racing toward us in his pajamas, screaming, "I belong here," followed by 2 security guards. It was classic. C. It was. Good times in Denver. Oh my. Yeah, it was a little crazy. Too bad nobody recorded his lightning talk. OMG, I know. I believe OMG means you were really, really surprised. I wasn't going to mention it, simple smile. That means that, hey, he's laughing at me a little bit. I missed a lot of it. I turned after I noticed the WTF face on everyone in the room, and I think that's an act of surprise. And you're like, right now you're probably having that little look at. I see a couple of them in here. I'm like, there will be more later. Was it a bad talk? That's a good question. You're right now sitting in this thinking, my goodness, I don't know how this is going to go. This could turn out really good, or this can crash and burn really badly. It was out there. Then this is a D responding to P. It was a 10-minute ramble on strong AI and how awesome GopherCon was and why he was in his pajamas and the time he lost his socks. Okay. I like D. D is a very smart guy. I mean, if I would have had a chance to actually talk to these people, I'd put their names there. They wouldn't care. But he is off it slightly. I did not lose my socks, okay? I needed socks. I got locked out of my Airbnb in my pajamas, barefoot, about a half a mile from the convention. So I had to walk barefoot down a Denver alley, then down several streets to get to the convention, and then eventually get a laptop and look up my Airbnb and get it signed and need socks because I needed to go to the bathroom. Because I didn't want to go to the men's room without socks on. Anyway, out there doesn't even cover it. Yeah. So, ha, 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 ha. I can only interpret it. He's so much smarter than I was, I couldn't absorb everything he said. I like this C guy. All in all, he was a super nice guy. You know what? I was. You know what? And I try to be super nice at GopherCon because when I come to GopherCon, I meet all these gophers, and they are really great people. It's hard to meet a gopher I don't like. It really is. So this was the last slide. I wore my pajamas to GopherCon, and next year I'm bringing my tux. I did not make it to GopherCon in 2015. I wanted to really badly. It was like one of my dreams, but I didn't get to come. I'll get into that in a second. And then next year I'll bring my tux. And I came last year, and I enjoyed it. I didn't bring my tux last year. And there's a reason for that, too. But this year I had my tux. I don't know if you went to the party on Thursday night, but it was a good time, and that's why I wore my tux. You know what? I said during my talk I was going to bring my tux, and, it's one of those things to where, was going to a wedding for my boss, and I didn't look at the invitation at the bottom, and it said black tie till the day of, and had to buy a tuxedo. So, hey, you know what? I own a tuxedo, so I like to use it once in a while, because you know what? I spent a lot of money on that darn thing. Anyway, and then this is the slide that I've updated. I might not be the first, but I know that I will write a GAI program in Go. GAI, part about what the talk was that it's general artificial intelligence, not just because artificial intelligence has gotten so big and covers so much that people now say it's general because if it's doing the really hard stuff of just being able to do everything. So let's talk about some changes real quick. This is changes since the talk. We're going to talk changes in AI, talk changes in Go, and we're going to talk changes in me. AI. Now this is if you're wanting some AI content out of this talk after this and the next 3 points, that's what you're getting. TensorFlow. TensorFlow is amazing. That was open source by Google. It's not written in Go. It's written in Python and C++ and some CUDA and stuff, but they have a library for Go. And that's really good. They have stuff about it here, but I tell you, I highly recommend just looking at it because it's one of those things that it gets your mind flowing in certain things. Even if you just have like a passing interest in AI or just want to see what it's about, if you start looking at that API and stuff like that, you will really start to figure, see what it's about. GPUs have gotten much faster. NVIDIA's now has Moore's Law, is actually being able to do that kind of stuff with little things they're doing and so forth. So you're seeing a lot more stuff done on GPUs. And so forth. And then deep neural networks. I'm running a little bit out of time, so I'm going to skip that. But if you haven't heard about those, then look it up or come talk to me later. I'll tell you about them. Go. Go is in Go. This was the first GopherCon. There was a big talk by Russ about how they were converting it and so forth. We wouldn't get that to 1.5. Garbage collection. Now, I could put garbage collection or I could put speed. It's really the speed of the garbage collection that's really advanced. If you look at how that thing's done, and if you look at the latency numbers on that thing, every freaking time it comes out, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more. But you realize that they're making a little bit more and a little bit more. They're making that thing hums. Pachyderm. This is also why I usually work on my talks while I'm at GopherCon, because that's a new thing I learned. I did the data workshop on Wednesday. And Pachyderm actually is written in Go, and it's real quick description of it. It's like Git for data. But what it is instead of copying the changes, they copy the entire file, which is good for historical records and stuff. We'll do this really quickly. I got divorced. That's why I didn't make it to GopherCon. I didn't have the money. My dad died last year, so I wasn't really feeling like wearing the tux. And I think I can be first. That's the same quote from before, and it said I might not be first, but I think I can be. And it's just a matter of if I feel like I want to put the time into it and do it. So now we're to the actions. So I have actions for everybody. This is not just people in the room, everybody. Anybody who sees this or hears about me or whatever. I got actions for gophers, and everybody in this room is a gopher. I don't care, Heather is a gopher. I tell you, she works on this conference and does everything for it. She's amazing. Anyway. And then for me, I'm the guy that got lucky to get up here and talk, so I have some action items for myself as well, too. Everyone. Critical of all sources. You need to be really critical of sources and where you hear stuff, because there's this thing called fake news that can be generated by AIs and so forth. Make sure you're very critical. And if it's your news source, then you should be even more critical of it as well, too. Just because that's how you like to get your news doesn't mean you shouldn't be critical of it. No AI limits. When somebody says something got happened by AI, you want to make sure you know what is going on, because if you don't know what the limits are, you can be taken. Take advantage, though. There's going to be great opportunity to have things that you can actually be able to use. Gophers, contribute. I'm going to the contributor workshop. If you want to help AI and Go together, contribute to Go. That could be as simple as helping newbies, updating documentation, and take advantage, because, take advantage of the TensorFlow Go library, because you can do really cool things with it and stuff. I'm going to go real quick through this because I'm running out of time. Jordi, little gopher, take advantage. Jordi, it's my AI company that I'm working on. There's a King Landon problem I didn't get to. There's a little gopher. I'm still working on that, folks. I'm working on that, too. So, anyway. Thank you.